Good morning! So you probably know me because I'm sitting right now in the crowd in food science, but I'm also in advertising. And the first step we're now discussing, so wait a second, remember that sugar cookie lab we made? I do remember this, and we talked about this in advertising. Look at the first step we need to do when we want to improve these cookies. Identifying and defining the problem. That means, first of all, we have to use already collected data. So for example, the data tables you all collected, which means the data tables that show how the cookies looked, how they tasted, and all the other categories we measured. And another way we could also collect data without having too much work to do would be collecting or conducting a survey, which means we're just asking the other people in our class, hey, did you like the cookies from kitchen number 1? By the way, I was kitchen number 1 and they were not really good. This is, for example, one opinion we can have to collect the data. Now, to give you some examples for that, when we use already collected data, those could, for example, be the cell numbers of cookies, or in our case, the size of cookies, so the colors or the taste and everything. And the data we can collect without having too much work would, for example, be in a survey, hey, did you like the cookies, yes or no? If no, why not? Then the second step we're going to do is define a concrete problem with the use of the raw data, which means we are just taking all the data we collected together to define a problem. In our case, we could say, according to our data, the cookies were plain. No offense to Ms. Wales, but the cookies were really plain. So the problem we have is the cookies were plain. And what are we going to do in our third step? It's pretty easy. We're just taking the data we have, the defined problem, and putting it into a question people can work with. In our case, it would be a question that must not be answered in a one-word answer, but have to be like it has to be able to make people think of this topic. For example, how can we improve the cookies to solve the problem of the plain taste? And how can we make these cookies more appealing to customers? You can't just answer this with a one-word answer. You have to think about this, and this is what we want you to do to improve to improve the cookies. Thank you. Let's come to the next step.
Hi, I'm David Calderon, and right next to me is Mateo Salinas. Hi. We are developing the research plan phase 2. What is it? The research plan is finding the information that needs to be studied so that it can be implemented later to help the product succeed after production. What affects the research plan?
So, mostly anything can affect the research plan, anything from geographics, demographics, and demographics to the way people act and what they need to get.
Yeah, that is our research plan.
Step 3 is determine method of collecting data. Will you use primary or secondary? Primary is information that you are developing yourself either through surveys or questionnaires. These surveys or questionnaires, are you going to do them face-to-face, through mail, by telephone, by email, or internet, or pure observation? Or are you going to use secondary data information that is from other sources that has already been developed?
Analyzing the data. Analyzing is the inspecting, cleaning, and overall transformation of data after it has been collected. It's important so that you can make sure you have the correct information and should be organized in a meaningful way so it can be interpreted and analyzed by decision makers. An example of this would be when cooking or baking, you most likely use a recipe. If you're using that recipe for a consumer, you want it to be the best possible. This means you research different recipes and ingredients in order to perfect it.
This is the last step. It's reporting and presenting your data, and basically this step is really important because all the information you have gathered all over the other steps you have to present in either a table, a graph, a pie chart, or anything else of that sort. That's it. Yeah, I'm done.
Yo Leute, wir haben es geschafft, wir sind am Ende vom Video. Gerade eben habt ihr 6 Schritte gesehen, wie ihr eure Sugar Cookies verbessern könnt. Haltet euch an diese 6 Schritte und dann werden die Sugar Cookies einfach super toll. Miss Wales, es tut mir leid, aber die Cookies, die wir vor uns gegessen haben, waren nicht ganz so gut, aber wir werden die auf jeden Fall verbessern. Now, please give a huge applause to that really good looking German guy in the crowd. I think he's an amazing chef. Just give an applause to him. That's it. Have a nice day. Yeehaw! So folks, now we are at the end. Wir haben es geschafft, wir sind am Ende vom Video.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Hä? Oh my god, that was such a good one! Hey y'all, pay attention! So we're now at the end of this video. If you pay attention to all of these 6 steps we just had, we will be okay, take another one.